Hi, it's Jonathan from All Access Card Shop. Who do we have and what did you do today?
Hi, my name is Alexander Kanable, and I got seconds today.
All right, sounds good. Let's get into the deck profile.
Yeah, so we'll start with the main deck monsters. A lot of it will be standard, a little bit of it will be kind of different than other people. I'll start off with the probably most standard cards, which will be 3 Fallen of Valdez. And then I played 3 Aluber. I actually sided out 1 a lot because sometimes I just want to make sure, because I'm also playing Springin's Kit, I wanted to make sure I'm not drawing like too many normal summons going second. So one of these usually got sided out. And then depending on the matchup, one of the Fallen of Valdez was also sided out. And then again, standard, we had for more one-of monsters, we had Mercury, Tragedy, Shrouded Dragon, then the Sereneer and Slubellion. These are pretty standard as well. And then we had the 1 Quem, 1 Cartesia. Thinking about 2 of this, but Quem's always just like probably the best card in the deck, honestly. And then, of course, we had the Degenerate card that's going to be less played next format. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, of course. I actually only summoned this like maybe 2 or 3 times today. It wasn't very much. I found I didn't actually need it all that much.
How did you feel about maining it?
Maining it? I mean, I liked it. It was there. I feel like going first, for game 1, it's fine because if you end up grinding a little bit, this kind of just wins you the grind a little bit. So it was great. It was good. Otherwise, now here's the weird card that people aren't playing with Puppet, which is Dark Magician for the Dragoon package. I felt like Dragoon was really good because it's negate into pop. Going second, it's insane because if you Branded Fusion into it, then you get to pop a card. If they try negating that, then you can negate their negate, which is what I liked about Baron when I was playing Sword Soul. So there's that. I just felt like Dragoon was great. It won me against in top 4. It won me against Super Heavy Samurai, so it was really good. And then Spell and Trap cards. Go with the standard Branded Fusion. Of course, you're always going to play 3 of this in Branded.
The Ash bait.
Yeah, actually, I only got ashed maybe like 2 or 3 times today, which felt really nice. Actually.
Oh, here we go, second place. Didn't get ashed.
Though the times I did get ashed, I either had Called by the Grave or Nadir's Servant, which we'll get to in a second. But otherwise, we also played the 3 Fusion Deployment. The card's insane. I think you should play it. Branded Opening, obviously. Also insane, summons Quem. If you open Aluber, makes your opponent cry a little bit. And then we also got, of course, the Nadir's Servant. Now this card was crazy. This probably won me, again, 2 or 3 of my games. Because if you go through everything in your hand, your opponent's most likely not going to have much left on their board. But this lets you go like +4 on your opponent's turn. It's ridiculous because this can add Quem or Fallen of Valdez and do the standard Nadir line, or of course when you go Quem it's going to be a little different, but this card was just crazy all day and I would not take it out. For more one-ofs, Branded in High Spirits, this goes with Nadir for the standard Nadir Servant line. And then Branded in Red, this card was really good as well today. This is actually the first time I probably used it a lot today. It made some really cool plays as well because, again, with Nadir Servant and just a couple of unique scenarios. Branded Lost, card's nuts. And then Despia Theater. I don't like this card. It did not do me anything today. Yeah, I don't know, it's just...
Probably cut it.
Yeah, probably. I was playing Branded in White before this because you can use materials from your graveyard, which is really good. And I just missed it. I missed Branded in White a lot today, so that's probably coming in instead of this. I just don't think you want to play you don't want to play both because it's a little bit too bricky at that point. You're playing a little too many fusion cards. And then Foolish and Gold Sark, even though we're only playing one Mercurier, because you can either banish Mercurier or Tragedy with this, and it still goes off. And this, you don't need to send Tragedy, so if you draw it, it's fine, because you can send like Fallen of Albaz or the Shrouded Dragon, Serenir, and get other cards in graveyard that you need. So this is like an insane utility card today. Came in clutch. And then Called by the Grave, of course, it's really just good, you know, hits Ash, other cards. We also played Triple Tack, and this card was also insane today. Pretty much every time I drew it, it was really good, and I recommend playing it. I didn't think I needed that many hand traps besides Droll, because I felt very confident with the engine in branded Despia, because everything pretty much does something that interrupts your opponent's board. So I felt awesome with it, and I don't believe you need that many hand traps in branded. Like, because even against super heavy samurai, like, I didn't even like have many hand traps. I had like I drew Tax and like some other cards, and that was just enough to end the game. And then, of course, Expulsion and Retribution. You need Retribution because otherwise your cards like where is it? Yeah, so like Foolish is less effective because again, if you draw Tragedy, then it won't do the same. And you just have like a lot of cards that send branded Speller Traps from deck to graveyard, so I feel like it's just necessary to play. And then we'll go on to the extra deck. So extra deck, we had Lulu Walulith. This card was actually pretty cool today. A couple times sent it off Nadir Servant. It was really good. If I didn't already have Quem or Cartesia on my end board, then this would just grab it for me, so it's really good. Almost hard made it, but I felt like in that scenario it was just a little better to do something else. Then we played Melon. This card was crazy today because you pitched off Nadir Servant and it outs Floodgates or Vanity's Fiends, which came up in my last match, and a couple other games, but I unfortunately didn't have quite the correct scenario to use it. So, but otherwise, besides my last game, this was really good. And then Chimera, this card won me like 2 or 3 of my games again. Just really good today.
Dragostapelia.
Oh yeah, Dragostapelia.
Yeah, you're fine.
Wrong name, but it was really good. There's like some really cool scenarios where I used Cartesia to make it on my opponent's turn, and that was insane and then I used Quem to summon back, because I used one of my cards, and I used Mirror Jade, and I used Cartesia to use Mirror Jade and some other card, I can't remember, it might have been from hand, but then I made this and then used Quem to summon Mirror Jade back, and that was nuts. This card was also insane today with branded in red. Of course, also standard that there's not much that needs to be said about this card. Dragoon, again, like I was explaining earlier with Dark Magician. This guy didn't come up today, but he's always there for the OTK. And then one Granganol. Today actually really did not feel like I needed 2, but a lot of times I do end up wishing I played 2, so we'll see how this changes. And then Sprint. This card was also insane with Nadir Servant, just another great target. Also a good contact fusion with Fallen of Albaz on your opponent's turn, because you can also follow up with popping another card, potentially. Rimbrum. Against Flu, I actually contact fusion summoned with one of their monsters. That was really funny. And then also against the Brandon Mirror match, I summoned this when he had Proskinian, and I just won me the game. This card for Puppet, but also it's just good to summon Cartesia, Quem, or Fallen of Albaz off of this too, because you can fusion summon if you don't have, let's say, Puppet in graveyard. So otherwise this is just really good. I would not take this out post banless at all. One of this, I don't feel like you need any more than one, honestly. Sometimes, actually that's a lie. Sometimes I did wish I have a second, but I think I'm happy with my extra deck overall, so I don't think I'd change it. So, but 2 is like a weak kind of maybe. 2 Mirror Jade, it's necessary. You go through 2 sometimes. it's just good to have. And then 2 LBM, which is standard. And then finally for the side deck, we've got 3 evenly against Labyrinth, because if they try to respond with any of their Labyrinth cards, then the targets that they summon off of it still get banished, and it's just really good. Otherwise, just other generic back row decks I felt like it was really good for. Didn't come up today, but it's there for when it's needed. For Super Heavy Samurai, I actually didn't activate this against Super Heavy Samurai. I never got the chance to. There just wasn't the right circumstance to use it, so it never came up. Visteals, these were insane for the mirror match and for a couple other games. I don't remember exactly, but these were really good today as well. 2 Kaiju, I never drew them, so can't really say much about them, but they would have outed like an Appaloosa or something with Vanadium or Super Heavy, or even our Ice Heart. 2 Nibiru, same kind of thing, or concept as this guy, so you want to nib them before they get to Appaloosa, hopefully. You got to make sure their hand's not like where they want it to be. So, I didn't draw it today either, so I can't really say anything about it. Now, these cards were insane all day. My last game, I misplayed a little bit, but otherwise it was really good. Just kind of stopped my opponent a lot when I needed it to.
That's the deck. Any shout-outs, Alex?
Shout out to Micah, Marcellus, and John behind
thanks.
the camera, because I got all of your opinions while making this deck list, actually. So that was really good. It went really well, and I'm happy with my results today.
All right, sounds good, Alex. Hopefully we see you again soon, okay?
Of course.
Yeah, bye now.